Good afternoon. I'm with Gabby Landry this afternoon. Gabby is a rising junior at Harvard, and we're delighted to have her with us this afternoon. So, Gabby, tell us where are you from originally?
I'm from North Attleboro, Massachusetts.
Okay, great. And what do you study at Harvard, and what year are you?
So I'm a rising junior, but taking a gap year this year, and my concentration is philosophy, and my secondary is education.
Terrific. And Gabby, remind us now. You've been a fellow here for a couple of years. Worked very closely with us. How did you get to know the Abigail Adams Institute?
So I graduated from Montrose School in 2018, and one of my teachers there, Katie Elrod, was good friends with Erica Bakayaki, one of the fellows here. And so when Erica was looking for a research fellow, and I was an incoming freshman here at Harvard, I just got connected and met you, and then was able to work with Erica since then.
Great, terrific. I that's right. Yes. So you are taking a gap year. You said. Mm-hmm. What are you doing this year?
So I've been working at Montrose actually through the summer with their Life Compass Institute, writing articles about character education and the kinds of work that they're doing there at the school. And so I'll be continuing with them this fall, and also working with the students a bit, with the seniors, helping with college prep. And beyond the fall, I am still open to some adventures and trying to plan a trip abroad potentially. And just really looking to learn and explore my interests this year.
Okay. And didn't you do a trip abroad after your freshman year to Europe?
Yeah. I did,
Where'd you go?
I did Harvard Summer School in Prague. So I was in the Czech Republic for 8 weeks studying Czech language, which was very fun.
Yes.
And then after that, I traveled with my boyfriend to the UK and Italy and France.
Great. Wow. Sounds like fun. Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID,
yes.
Yeah.
And did you come into college knowing what you wanted to major?
So I was really interested in humanities. I didn't know philosophy yet was what I would end up with, but I was actually thinking pre-med in high school as well. But that pretty much changed just after a lot of thought. I knew that I didn't really want to go into medicine. Okay. And so I was exploring humanities with the Hum 10 course and just really loved the philosophy professors and the philosophy texts. And so I took a gen ed course with Jeff McDonough and then just stuck with it.
Are there any other classes? I know you're only halfway through your college experience here. Any other classes that stick out aside from philosophy classes?
Well, within philosophy, my classes with Professor Emilio Mora have been just some of my favorites, philosophy of law and Rawls' political philosophy. Other than that, I really liked the EC10 sequence. My TF was Thomas Baranga, who's now teaching, I think, EC1010 or EC1010B, but he was just a really great teacher, and I enjoyed that a lot. And I loved my education courses as well.
This is the School of Education?
Well, the ones that I took were in the sociology department, actually. So I took one on education and culture with Tiffany Ting, who's also at the ed school, or she was previously. But I'm hoping to take more classes at the ed school as well.
Great. So, in addition to your involvement with the Abigail Adams Institute, what other extracurricular groups or organizations are you part of at Harvard?
Yeah, so I'm a member of Harvard Right to Life, which is the pro-life group on campus. I was a student leader my freshman year and my sophomore year, and hoping to remain involved for the rest of college. And then I'm a member of Alpha Phi, which is the only sorority on campus. And in that, I'm the director of Sisterhood. So I help plan a lot of our just bonding events for like members only to get to know each other better and just have a fun time.
Great. Those are just your formal affiliations. I know you're also involved in many other groups. And so, Gabby, can you tell us a little bit more in conclusion? What have you been reading lately or recently, and what are some of the perennial works you would recommend to our audience?
Yeah, so one of my favorites, which was actually part of TGC, the Great Conversation here, last spring, was Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, which is one of just perennial favorite books ever. I think I read it for the first time in high school, read it a second time for one of my high school classes, and then read it here, read it again last summer. It's just a book I always just go back to because I really love I mean, the story's so moving, and then all the messages about life are just, I think, very applicable and
I found it a very difficult book, a very dark book in many ways, dark and light.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
yeah,
No, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So you recommend Franco? Anything else or any other works?
I really like a lot of the classic philosophy. So Plato's Republic, I think, is a good one. But if you don't have time to read the whole thing, just like the Allegory of the Cave is a good one to be familiar with. And then for literature, I really like To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. That's one of my favorites as well. I think I didn't like it at the beginning the first time I read it, but once I got into it, I really enjoyed the way that she just played with the language and the really deep dives into the characters. I thought just exposed so much to learn from.
Wonderful. And I'll end on this note, Gabby. I know you organized our first annual Abigail Adams birthday party last year. You reminded us of an Abigail Adams quotation that we're going to use to make a bookmark recently. What is the quotation? First of all, if you remember it, it's very short, I think, but and what is it? And where did you come upon it?
Yeah, so I believe the quote was, "Great necessities call out great virtues." Yeah. And where did I come across it? I was reading, I can't really remember. Yeah. I can't really remember where I found the quote, but it was in some book that I was reading, and when I came across it, I just thought it was so applicable today because she wrote it during the Revolution. So she was in the midst of the war, her husband off at the conventions and all these things, and just in the thick of things in the colonies. And I think with COVID and all the other things going on in our world today, it's a good one to remember.
Yeah, no, it's a great one. We'll get that up there next semester as well.